Yeah, that's not good at all. Yep, I think the 131's days are done. What's going on, guys? I am presently on my way. We had to cut our afternoon short because I got so much other stuff I've got to do. The trip I'm making right now is one of them, and I'm not happy. I have been a loyal Stihl user. Stihl as in S-T-I-H-L user for 21 years now, and this is the third trimmer I've had do what you saw in the beginning of the video. Now let me explain what that is. Trimmers, the engines, or the power heads is what they call them, are very much like an engine block, a car engine block. The bell housing and the block are all made together. Well, that's kind of what that is. And over a period of time, if you watch the videos I did on the starting issue with it, you know, having to snatch it, that's what caused that to do that. I adjusted the valve several times and it didn't seem to do any good. I don't know that there was another problem. I don't know if the carburetor was contributing to that problem or not. But after I replaced the carburetor and then adjusted the valves, it seemed to go away. But it was too little too late. The damage had been done. Now I'm on my way to the dealership to find out if that can be fixed, which I seriously doubt it can. But I wanted to show you that at the beginning of the video, kind of set up what the video was going to be about, and explain a little bit about the title. That trimmer's only 2 years old. 2. And it should have lasted longer than that. I don't know if we caused it. I don't think we did, because I did what everybody had advised me to do to solve that problem, and it didn't seem to have any effect on it. So anyway, I'm gonna get up there, going to Dunn. If you watched my channel before, I trade with Lankies. And when I get there, I'm gonna take this trimmer in and let them look at it, and I'll report back to you what they told me. Y'all stick around. Putting more of them stupid traffic circles around. Right, here we go. See what we can find out, boys and girls. All right, well, we are back at the shop. This trip did not go the way I planned, or that trip. This is 2 days later. The reason it's 2 days later is I've been trying to round up what I needed to fix this trimmer. And when I went up to Lanky's, you saw me pull in the parking lot. I took this thing inside and I asked them about, can it be fixed? And they said, yes, it can be fixed. I said, great. I said, I just replaced the cowl on it. I said, I replaced the carburetor and adjusted the valves, and it runs phenomenal. I don't want to discard it, you know, if it can be fixed. Well, it can be fixed, but they would have to order the part, and I'm fixing to show you what part it needs. And the problem is getting the part here. They said it would be not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 weeks to get the part here. I ain't got that kind of time. So knowing I'm pretty much dead in the water without a string trimmer, what did we do? Well, I'm going to show you, but before we do, I'm going to show you beforehand what's wrong with this one and what we had to do at that moment. Okay, now this bolt that goes through here and goes into the pan, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. It's stripped out, and I temporarily put some Teflon tape on it, hoping it would hold. Well, it did for a while, but then it started separating again. So I did it again, and it held. You know, it wasn't the best in the world, but it held. Well, what I did not know was, if you remember in the video, and I'll put a clip in the upper window right in here somewhere, of Nate trying to crank it in this very spot right in here, and it jumped up and hit him in the ribs. Well, what we didn't realize was, having snatched on this thing for so long, I had already adjusted the valves twice, but the correlation between the carburetor and the valves was where the problem was, and we didn't realize it. Well, let me show you what ended up happening. Now, this piece right here is called the engine pan. It is basically the bell housing that bolts to the engine, and then it bolts the engine to the clutch housing. This is your clutch housing right here. And that's what it connects all this. It's the same thing as in a car. This is the bell housing on the engine, and this is the bell housing on the transmission. Same concept. Well, as you can see, let me go around to the other side so you can really get a good look. As you can see, that pan is completely severed right there. And it's nothing but cast aluminum. You see how it moves? See, that's the lineup pin right there on the engine. See that? It's completely separating. Well, let me turn it back around. And if you pull this string like this up, the natural torque of the pull literally pulls this way. It doesn't pull it straight up. But at the same time, it's literally pulling this way. It's torquing it like that. And snatching on this thing for so long is what caused this to break. That's what the Stihl mechanic at Lanky's told me. He said that is what caused that to break. Now the part right here, I can get this off of Amazon for $148, but I can get it from the dealership for $50. The only problem was it's going to be 6 weeks getting it in. So what did we do? Well, I'm going to show you. Now, I haven't said which trimmer this is. This is the 131R. Now, I love this trimmer. I do. I love this trimmer. It has got awesome power. Sometimes in certain situations, it's got a little bit too much power, but you know the old adage, you can't have or have, there's no such thing as too much power. But anyway, what we had to do at that very moment, when we were on the job and Nate was trying to crank this thing and it separated like this, we had that job to finish and 3 more jobs to do. So we had to come up with a plan. Well, I've said it on my channel multiple times, more than once, and if you've been following my channel, and if you're not, shame on you, click that subscribe button if you're new to this channel. My dad always taught me, you use what you have to the best of your ability. If you can do what you got to do with what you've got, that's the best course of action. My dad was a very wise man. He was a truck driver for 52 years, and he taught me a lot in them years. And matter of fact, yesterday would have been his 91st birthday. Today's July 3rd. His birthday was July 2nd. He would have been 91 years old. Love you, Daddy. But anyway, so what we had to do, we had to come up with a plan while we were on the job. Well, the one thing I like about Stihl is their machines are interchangeable. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm fixing to show you. Okay, this is not a weed eater. I know it looks like a weed eater or a string trimmer. It has the handle of a string trimmer, but it is not a string trimmer. It is, drum roll please, it is an HL94 articulating hedge trimmer. And we had to come up with a plan. So I told Nate, I said, hold it, don't go anywhere, let's try something. So as you saw, the trimmer head is missing off of this one. So are you following me so far? I took the hedge trimmer head off of this HL94 hedge trimmer, and I put the string trimmer head on it. And it has gotten us through the last 3 days. Is it the most powerful machine? No. As my daddy used to say, and I'm going to take my glasses off, I wouldn't kick a bull in the butt for a truckload of these things. It is weaker than wet water. The Stihl dealer at Lanky's, he told me, he said, this is the least powerful trimmer that that Stihl offers. He said, this is for people that do 1-2 small yards a day, and they don't have a lot of heavy trimming to do. He said, but when you start stepping up into trimming high grass or ditch banks and stuff like that, he said this one, I believe it's the FS131R on the trimmers, but it ain't going to cut it. It's going to bog, and I'm going to demonstrate that here in just a minute. It's going to bog. It's not going to have any power. You're not going to be able to have near the trimmer line out on this that you would the 131. No, or even a 91R, nowhere near. Well, this one has 1.2, what they call brake horsepower. That 131 has 1.999 brake horsepower. I mean, it is and this is the way he described it, it is the thickness of a thumbnail, or a fingernail rather, from having 2 horsepower. That's a 2 horsepower string trimmer. This is a 1.2. Well, actually, again, it's a 1.999 horsepower trimmer. It's very weak. Now, if you leave the line out only about that far, it'll spin it up and you can go, but you're only trimming a section of grass about that wide, when you need to be trimming a section of grass that wide. So, I couldn't go 6 weeks without a trimmer. I didn't want to buy a trimmer. I don't want to buy a trimmer, but I bought a trimmer. And that's what I'm fixing to show you now. Now, me and Nate have been using this for 3 days. And if he wasn't busy helping his mom inside, you know, Flossie's got a broke arm. If he wasn't busy helping her do stuff inside, I would bring him out here and let him tell you the misery that is an FS94 string trimmer. I don't know if you can hear that trimmer in the background, but it sounds like this. Now I'm going to crank this up. Well, no, I'm not either. No, I'm not, because I've already dumped the gas out of it, and I'm not going to do that. I have to keep my stuff locked up. So, we've been going through the last 3 days with this machine. Now, it has gotten us through. I'm not going to lie about it. It's gotten us through. It's been dependable. But it just doesn't have the power that 131. Matter of fact, it doesn't have, even brand new, it doesn't have the power that a 5-year-old 91R would have. It just doesn't. It's not designed to trim heavy, thick grass. It's just not. Now, I know a lot of people on YouTube, especially, a lot of people use them. I know Spencer's Lawn Care up in Akron, Ohio. Him and TK both, or Sean and TK both, use these trimmers. They're not trimming real heavy, thick grass with them. They're probably trimming fescue. I'm not putting that on them. I don't mean it that way. What I'm saying is, when you see all this high grass out here, that's Bahia. This thing will not cut Bahia. You have to go really slow. Well, when you're doing production work and time is money, this won't cut it. At all. Not at all, as Andy Griffith used to say. So anyway, so I was at an impasse. I didn't want to keep using this right on and burn up my hedge trimmer. I had to come up with a solution. I didn't want to buy a new weed eater though. I wasn't a new trimmer. That's not what I went up there for. I went up there to see if I could fix this one relatively quickly, and if not, I had to come up with a plan. Being part of that plan being, I may have to bite the bullet and buy another trimmer. Well, guys, that's what I had to do because I can't wait 6 weeks. So let me show you what I got. Introducing the Stihl FS131R. I have never even cranked it up yet. It's been literally sitting in the shop. They cranked it up. I heard it running in the background, but I'm trying to line them up for a reason. I have not cranked this machine up. I've got to do some operating on this. Mainly, if you notice the difference right away, leave me a comment in the comment section below what you see as being the biggest difference between these two machines, other than one being bigger than the other. If you guessed the handles, you're exactly right. This handle is a custom, what I call the J handle. This is more along the lines of your Ryobis, your Troy-Bilts. Well, I said in my first video that I ever posted on Facebook, listen to me, on YouTube, I'm a fluffy guy. I have lost weight, but I'm still kind of plump. And I do not like having to stand to the side like this to string trim. I like being able to look at what I'm doing straight on, head on, and go. And this handle here does not allow you to do that. Now I'm going to demonstrate what I mean in just a second. But I will be taking this handle off and putting this handle on this machine. And then when I get the 131 fixed in a couple of months, which by then we probably won't need it, but I'm still going to get it fixed anyway, I've got another handle like this one that's going to be going back on that machine. In the meantime, I'm not going to switch the heads off of this one and put on this one. If you watch NCIS, look up Gibbs rule number 5. You don't waste good. So this is a brand new, Brian, don't drop it. This is a brand new head. I'm going to use this until it runs out of line, and then I'm going to change it. Now, let me put this down. I'm not going to edit that part. It ain't necessary. And I'm going to get my specs because they fell on the ground, of course. And I'm going to read. I'm not going to go over everything. I'm just going to read the specifications on this machine. Got to take them off, and of course the gnats first thing. Good Lord. This is a Stihl FS 111R. They have a 111RX. I didn't buy that one. And the main reason I didn't buy that one is because the 111R has a solid steel shaft in the center here, right in here. The 111RX has a woven cable, and that woven cable has a lot of give to it. And when you get in heavy grass, it has a tendency to bog and slow down. When you're doing heavy commercial work like we do, that is no bueno. And so I looked at both of them, and I went with what I'm familiar with. Now let me see here. Get down to the S's. Specifications, page 47. Like I said, guys, I'm not going to go over every little thing. I'm just going to go over this really quick. Okay. Here is the specifications. It has the the engine. It is a 31.4 or 1.92 cubic inches. 31.4 cc or 1.92 cubic inches. The bore is 40 millimeters or 1.57 inches. The stroke is 25 millimeters or 0.98 inches. In other words, it's just under an inch of the stroke. That's how far up and down the piston moves. The engine power is 1.3 brake horsepower. And remember me talking about the 131 is 1.9999. This one is 1.3, and it says BPH AT, and I asked them what that AT mean. It said it's the at 7,500 RPMs. And I said, well, what is the 1.999 into 1.3? He said, when they give an RPM, that is, the 1.3 is the solid brake horsepower of that engine at that RPM. That one there doesn't say that in the specs. He showed me. But anyway, the idle speed is 2,800 RPMs. The cutoff speed is 9,500. In other words, it'll rev up to 9,500 before it basically self-cuts off. But anyway, it is a 12.1 pounds. And this one is 12.1 pounds. And this one, the 111, the FS131R is 11.2 pounds. So you're talking a pound difference of weight. Now, that's not heavy. 12 pounds is not heavy if you're used to it. Now, if you're not used to it, it's going to be heavy when you first start using it. It's got the loop handle, spark arresting, screening, and muffler, of course. The reason I decided to go with this one and not another 131, guys, I mean, you guys, I've got some of the best subscribers in the world. I really do. Float Dizzle, Bowman's Homestead, Musical Bill, Keith, and if I'm missing you, I apologize. Those are the guys that I communicate with most on YouTube. And guys, you guys are phenomenal. Big Sons, New Hope Cuts, Buster down in Georgia. Buster's my buddy. Buster is my buddy. If me and Buster were together, we'd be getting in trouble. He's my buddy. But anyway, never met him before, but I can tell we're kindred spirits when we talk on the phone. But anyway, I went with this one because, in all honesty, I've not been impressed. I'm impressed highly with the performance. But the overall maintenance on that one has been 3 times more than on my 91R that I used to have. My 91R, I changed the air filter and the fuel filter once a year and changed the spark plug. And that's all I ever had to do to it. That's it. This one, I've only had it for 2 years. Guys, dear Jesus. I've only had this machine for 2 years. I've had to put 4 spark plugs in it. And the only thing I know is it had so much compression. It could be my fault, I don't know. But it had so much compression. And it's very fuel efficient. I don't have a complaint about the fuel efficiency. But the carburetor, I was constantly having to adjust it to get it to run right and not get it to either flood out or leak gas or something. That's the third carburetor that's been on that machine since it was new, and it was still somewhat hard to crank. So as far as that goes, I was not impressed with that machine. Am I going to fix it? Absolutely. That machine cost me almost $600. I'm going to fix it. But that's going to be a video for another time. So without further ado, I'm going to fire this bad boy up, and I'm going to do some, you can see it's clean. It is not been in the grass yet at all. And I'm going to crank this thing up, and I'm going to demonstrate just in a small area what it's like running it. All right. I'm not even going to choke it, guys. I am just going to set the choke on half, and I'm going to pull the rope and see what it does. Again, I've never cranked this machine up, so I don't know what it's going to do. Okay, it needs to be choked. There it goes. Come out here, bump some spring out. I will say this, I can tell this is not a 131R, but it's got far more power than that HL94, and I'm fixing to demonstrate that right now. All right, this is the HL94. This is actually a hedge trimmer, as you remember me saying, but you know, when your ox is in the ditch, you do what you got to do. So let's see if it'll fire it without me having to choke it. No, it won't, because it ain't got no gas in it.
It ain't got no gas in it.
Now that I've got gas in this thing, let's see if it'll crank. Come on. There we go. You can hear the difference in the sound of these engines. This is I believe it's a 2-stroke, and that's a 4-stroke. We're gonna have to. Well, let me see. Daggone, it's gonna make a liar out of me. There it goes. There it goes. Alright, now we'll go right back out there, and we'll get some of that thick stuff, and you're gonna see the difference. Just ain't got it, guys. It bogs down bad in thick stuff, and I've got the string not quite out as far on this one as I did on that one. So That shows you what I'm talking about. It just doesn't have the power. All right, that's gonna do it, guys. You'll be seeing a lot of this machine on the channel, and as soon as I can acquire the part, whether it takes 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or 2 weeks, as soon as I can acquire the part to fix the 131, I'll be doing a video on that too. And because I've already looked, there's not any that I could find, any videos on how to change the engine pan. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Be sure and click the like button and the subscribe button, especially if you're new to the channel. This is Brian with Big South Outdoors TV, reminding you to live big, live southern, and live outdoors. Until the next one, guys, have a good one.